Talking about Microsoft Copilot and kind of delving into how to unlock productivity using the platform. So as usual, a little table of contents just to kind of give you an idea of where this presentation is headed. We're going to talk about what the app actually is, then some of the history behind it. Next, we'll talk about how to access it, and then finish off with some features of Microsoft Copilot and also watch a video together. And there's even more, keep you on your toes. We'll also talk about subscription plans and then a nice thank you at the end. So first off, what is Microsoft Copilot? It's always good to get an idea of what exactly it is that we're going to be discussing. So this specific platform or application is an AI-powered virtual assistant, which is very similar to other AI assistants, such as ChatGPT. And what's different about it is that it's integrated into Microsoft 365 apps, as well as the Windows operating system. In particular, Microsoft Copilot simplifies and enhances productivity by automating tasks and also providing suggestions. So, kind of the people that it's targeted towards is going to be people who regularly use Microsoft applications. And it kind of is really great because it just kind of fits into how you're using those applications as you normally would. So it's more of an add-on rather than its own entity. So some history behind this AI-powered assistant. Copilot was announced in March 2023, so quite recent, as part of Microsoft's larger AI initiative. And the purpose of that initiative was to bring advanced AI into mainstream productivity tools for the general user. Copilot is built on OpenAI's GPT technology, and it uses the power of Azure's cloud computing infrastructure. So that's kind of how it's integrated for users to use. Furthermore, it began with pilot programs, so it only was used by select corporate clients, which demonstrated significant productivity gains. So it was first just used within a kind of certain population, and now it's been moved to the general users. So that gradual rollout started in late 2023, and it was integrated into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams, which are all the probably most popular Microsoft applications that people use. Microsoft Copilot is part of a larger trend of integrating AI into everyday work tools. And this kind of represents a shift towards automation and enhanced decision-making in the workplace and kind of whenever you're using technology in general. So now that we've gone over what it is and some of its history and where it came from, we're now going to move on to how to access and use Microsoft Copilot so that you can actually integrate it into whenever you're using your devices. So we're going to talk specifically about accessing it on PC, Mac, and mobile. And here the first step is to open any Microsoft 365 application. And again, examples are Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. Then you just need to locate the Copilot icon, which is usually in the toolbar or ribbon. Next, click on the icon to actually activate the Copilot. And after that, you will be prompted with on-screen prompts to customize features and access tools. And something that's really important to note is that you have the most updated version of the application. Otherwise, it may not be available to you because it's only been put into the newest version. So just be careful about that. And then here are some screenshots just to kind of visually guide you on how to follow those steps. You want to be looking for this icon right here, and it's going to be a kind of shape, and beside it, it says CoPilot. That's what you want to be clicking on. Then once you've actually opened the icon, this sidebar will pop up and you'll actually be able to see it in action. So here, for example, it's been making changes for the user, and it did this by deleting columns A to D, which is what they asked it to do. And then it also asks, is there anything else you need help with? Then the user has kind of responded back to the AI assistant, asking to highlight the most shipped items, and then it does that task. And you can continue typing in questions, either by actually using your keyboard, or you can even speak to it as well if that's easier, because sometimes it's so slow to type everything out. So if you click on that microphone, then you can record a message to it. And you just want to make sure you click on the paper airplane to actually send it, and then it will complete the task and ask you if you have anything else you need help with, or it'll ask a follow-up question just for clarification if it doesn't quite understand what you've asked it. So there are some requirements if you want to use and access CoPilot. So specifically for PCs, you must have Windows 10 or 11 OS, and as well an active Microsoft 365 subscription. So you must always have Microsoft 365 in order to use this assistant, because it comes with those applications. So you can't just get the AI on its own. You have to use it within one of these apps, which requires a subscription. If you're on a Mac device, you need to make sure you've got Mac OS 10.15 or later, as well, again, as an active Microsoft subscription. And then for Android, you need to have Android 9 or later. And for iPhones, iOS 14 or later. And again, for both of those mobile devices, an active Microsoft subscription. And luckily, sometimes schools or companies or organizations actually give it to you for free. So if you're part of any sort of organization, maybe you can check there to see if you're able to just sign in, and you'll be able to access Microsoft 365 without paying straight out of your own pocket. For example, at my university, we use Outlook as well as all of the other Microsoft kind of tools and applications. So that's how I log in, rather than paying for it directly myself. So next, we're going to talk about some more features of Microsoft Copilot that you can use after you've accessed the assistant, and that would be by following the steps that we've just spoken about. So firstly, kind of one of the most typical or expected abilities of this AI Copilot is writing assistance. So it automatically can draft, edit, and format documents in Word, as well as suggest improvements, for example, for grammar, tone, style, and also even generates content based on prompts such as reports or proposals. So it can really do a good analysis of whatever you're working on and provide any edits that it may have. Furthermore, it has data analysis. So this helps to simplify complex Excel tasks like creating pivot tables and visualizing data trends, which I think this would be super handy. I personally am awful with Excel. So if you kind of share those feelings, then this might really be for you. It also provides real-time suggestions for formula improvements and even summarizes spreadsheets and highlights key insights, which I just think is incredible, because instead of just scrolling and looking at numbers and tables and everything, it can just be so much. So it can kind of point out the important trends for you, or just kind of give you a better understanding of what you're actually looking at. It can also draft emails as well. So you can create professional emails in Outlook based on brief instructions that you give to the Copilot. It can even summarize lengthy email threads into key points, or suggest appropriate responses or follow-ups. So it can really help you with many different needs you may have when it comes to emails. Then it can also even help with presentation design. by enhancing PowerPoint slides with visually appealing layouts and even design ideas. So it's kind of like a brainstorming buddy. It'll help you to present information in the most appealing way possible. It also provides suggestions for slide content, such as key points or summaries, and it can recommend images, charts, and even animations to elevate your presentations and really draw in the audience that you're presenting to. So next, we're going to just talk a bit about the subscription plans to just kind of go further into how to access it and then actually use it. So if you want to use CoPilot on Microsoft 365 apps, you must purchase CoPilot Pro, which costs an additional 20 USD per month, or if you're Canadian and in Canada, then 27 Canadian dollars. But this is on top of the price for Microsoft 365. So if you are in Canada and you're using a personal account paying monthly, then it's $9.99, whereas in the US it would be $6.99. And if you're paying annually in Canada, it would be $119.99, or in the US, $69.9. They also have something called Microsoft 365 Family, which allows you to have multiple users on the same payment plan. So this would be $12.99 a month in Canada, or $9.99 per month in the US. Or if you pay yearly, then in Canada it's $159.99 per year, and in the US it's $99.99 per year. So these are just kind of some of the prices. They may change, but just to give you an idea of what using CoPilot would cost you. Again, just to emphasize, you need to either have a monthly paid or annually paid subscription to Microsoft 365. And then on top of that, it costs 20 US dollars, or alternatively 27 Canadian dollars to use Glide. So I just want to thank everybody for coming on today. It was absolutely lovely to see you all and to have you here. If you'd like to learn this lesson with a Cyber Seniors mentor, please go to the website or call the phone number to register for a one-on-one phone session. And we do also host weekly tech drop-in sessions from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays, and everybody is more than welcome to join with any tech-related questions. So I'll hand it back over to Summer now.